What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Z4 Games, and with the complete revealed list of the cyberstar structure deck, I thought it was time to give you guys my current interpretation of the hybrid deck. This is a Zane Hellkaiser Truesdale deck, and this is a deck that I'm definitely going to be playing. This build in particular, or at least this hybrid variant, once the cyberstar structure, because I just think it's just such a consistent variant. It's just such a more fun variant, and it's a very powerful variant as well, depending how you play it and depending on what combos you intend to at least try and get into, no matter what your hand gives you. So with all that said and done, before I get into this, simply enjoy, give us a like and subscribe down below. Ding that notification bell, because obviously if you enjoy a person's content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. And all of that is greatly appreciated, and we thank you guys so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into this Hellkaiser variant deck. So starting off with the Cyber Dragons themselves, we have Cyber Dragon. If you want to, you can take out 2 of these and put in 2 copies of Galaxy Soldier to give you more consistent access to your Nova and Infinity play, but I tend to not focus on that and just go for my Fusion OTK plays. But that is obviously something that you can do. Triple core, he searches out everything in your deck, double Hertz and the 1 Nashta to round up the Cyber Dragon lineup. I've been thinking of bumping up Hertz to 3 and a Nashta to 2, but at the moment I'm enjoying this ratio. If I wanted to do that, I'd drop down on the OG cyberdark, so I'll take them out and I'll try and emphasize on the Cyber Dragon aspect a bit more. But at the moment, I like the hybrid theory. I like the hybrid mix, because playing the OGs gives you much more consistent access into Cyber Darkness Dragon, which is a Cyber Dragon Infinity in himself, in the fact that he is a Omni Negate, while also being massive and can punch in for OTK, and gives you access to Cyber Dark End Dragon as well. 2 copies of Chimera. Thanks to Cyber Dark World, I dropped down Chimera to 2, just because we have another way to get into him without actually having to play more copies of him. So with the fact that, again, World exists, Chimera can then be reduced down to 2. But he is definitely an important piece in the deck, and I feel like no matter what variant you're playing, you should have access to Chimera, because Chimera in himself gives you access to Power Bond and turns it into a Miracle Fusion. Triple copies of Cannon and triple copies of Claw. It's probably like some of the best searches in the deck, just because these cards just get you into essentially anything that you want. Cannon getting you to Chimera, and Claw getting you to any of your Cyberdark spells, which can get you to access to essentially everything in your deck. That's it for monsters. Moving on to spells. Triple Emergency gives you access to your core. 1 Repair Plant gives you access into all your other Cyber Dragons. Triple copies of Horizon gets you access to any cyber in your deck and helps you fuel up your graveyard and even dump your fusions into the graveyard. And then 1 copy of World, just fantastic card in the deck. Gives you access to Chimera and Cannon and Claw, while also giving you an additional normal summon, so that no matter who you opened up with, Cyber Dragon Core or Cyber Dark Chimera, you'll be able to normal summon them both. I do play the 1 copy of Foolish Barrel, just give you access to another dump card in the deck to just fuel up your graveyard for that Cyber Darkness Dragon, as well as other cards in your deck. For the fusion spells, I'm going around on the fusion spells, trying to figure out the best ratio at the moment. At the moment is the double Power Bond, the 1 Overload, 1 Cyberload, and 1 Cyberdark Impact. Though I'm thinking of taking out the Impact, as much as it will hurt me, like emotionally, or hurt me emotionally, taking out the Impact for a 2nd Overload Fusion, because I'd rather see Overload Fusion, and Overload Fusion can go into Cyber Dark Dragon, which is essentially what Impact is doing anyway. The only reason I still play the Impact is because Impact is searchable by both Claw and Core, so I still play it. Overload Cyberload Fusion was a last was one of the last cards I put in before World came out. Just because having a searchable way to fusion summon for that OTK push using your banished cards is very handy in the deck, and you'll see how handy it is once you start playtesting it. This is a Ghost second deck, so I'm playing Regeki and triple Dark Hole. If you have things like Lightning Storm and other stuff like that, Forbidden Droplets, stuff like that, those high valued cards, those highly priced cards, play them. 100% play them. I play this because this is budget and it does the job for me. If anything, I might take out Regeki or a Dark Hole for a Harpy's Feather Duster, just to help clear up the back row as well. But at the moment, and just in testing, this just does what I want them to do. It clears off the field, and if you open up multiples, you can either bait out negates with them and then clear off the board, or use them as discard fodder for Chimera to search your power bond. So no matter what I have and I need doing, these cards will fulfill some form of role in the deck to help push for game or be consistency, pseudo consistency cards in the forms of Chimera. One copy of Fusion Tag, one Cyber System, and one Cybernetic Overflow just to round up the deck, help you go into Cyberdark and Dragon very easily. Just revival card, as Overflow is just a nice searchable card that you can search if you're going first. So that's it for the main deck. Moving on into the extra deck, we have the 2 copies of Cyberdark Dragon. I tend to use one for my actual making to make it, and one to dump off the horizon. One copy of Cyber Darkness Dragon. Yes, this is an OCG variant, but this is a proxy deck, so it doesn't matter. It's just, I like how they had an ultra. But yeah, Cyber Darkness Dragon, you definitely need to play it. And then the one copy of Cyber Dark End Dragon for when you can make it, you can have a pretty much near indestructible boss monster. That's it for the Cyber Dark fusions. For the Cyber Dragon fusions is Cyber End Dragon. I make this card a lot with 8k attack just for game. This is pretty funny. The one Cyber Eternity Dragon, one Cyber Twin, double Chimera Tech Rampage, and the one Chimera Tech Mega Fleet to round up the fusion lineup. The one Nova and Infinity, I can't make them very easily because I don't have the either Galaxy Soldiers or Machine Dupe. I still keep them here in the extra deck just in case. But obviously, again, you can proxy, you can take them out for anything, or as I said, you could put in Galaxy Soldiers for 2 Cyber Dragons to help you go into them. The one Verte Anaconda, you make this with those odd hands, those perfect hands where you don't lock yourself into machines for the turn. So you can make this and get an additional fusion on board for that additional push, but traditionally your end boards are going to be either a Chimera Attack Rampage or Cyber End Dragon boosted by Power Bond, a Mega Fleet that you've used to out an opponent's board, and a Cyber Dragon Seeger to help pump up those fusion monsters that you make with Power Bond for that OTK push. That tends to be your end board, so I'm also playing 2 copies of Seeger because when you lock yourself into machines a lot in this deck, you might as well just make probably one of the best link to machines that you can make for Cyber Dragons because it just does so much for you. That, guys, is the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm so glad that we finally got the fully revealed list so that I can just focus on making this deck as consistent as possible without the looming threat of something else being revealed, which I would be happy for, but also means I have to change up the build a little bit and retweak my strategies. But now that we finally have the full list revealed, check the channel for that full list. If you haven't seen it already, we can finally just focus on trying to make the best Hellkaiser deck that we can possibly make. And I hope this is at least a good structure and skeleton that you guys can enjoy and make your own variants from. So, as always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned to the channel for more deck profiles, news, reveals, and all that jazz. And once the TCG version of this deck finally drops, I will be making another IRL deck profile. So don't you fret about that. So, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, as always, happy dueling.